Hi there, Michael here. Today's going to be a fun one. I made my headphones listen to AirPods Pro, and in this video I'm going to show you why I did that and why and how you might want to do the same. But first of all, since the thumbnail and title are a bit clickbaity and might attract new viewers, let me quickly explain what this channel is about. If you're indeed new here, welcome. On this channel I talk about tools and tutorials for working with immersive audio, including Dolby Atmos and Ambisonics. One of these techniques I frequently discuss is head tracking for virtualizing an immersive music studio space. And one of my favorite tools for this purpose are the Apple AirPods, thanks to their incredibly stable and easy to use built-in head tracking system. Unfortunately, AirPods aren't really the best choice for a music production environment, so whenever I talk about the AirPods in this context, people tend to ask me how they could add head tracking to their regular studio headphones. Now, there are a couple of commercial solutions out there, such as the Subaware Head Tracker or the WaveSenex head tracking system, but wouldn't it be nice if we could just use the head tracking capabilities of the AirPods for that purpose? And that's exactly what we're going to do today. We will use the AirPods solely for head tracking, and for that we need to attach them to our studio headphones, resulting in this strange construction. This is going to be interesting. Let's get started. Now, my venture into the unusual use of the Apple AirPods Pro started about 2 weeks ago when I published a video about Headitude, which is a little application that takes in the orientation data from the Apple AirPods and converts them into OSC messages that you can then send to your digital audio workstation or the Dolby Atmos renderer, for example. Now, I'm going to leave a link to that video in the description below, and I encourage you to watch it because in that video I also demonstrate how you can use Headitude in connection with Cubase or the Dolby Atmos renderer, and it's a really cool video. Give it a watch. Now, in that video, I unfortunately made a little mistake, and that was that I said that you can't download a binary version of Headitude. You actually have to download the source code and then compile it yourself, and I showed you how to compile it on your system. And the developer of Headitude reached out to me and said, hey, that's actually not correct. You can actually download the binary. It is on the GitHub repository page, and it actually is. I didn't see that. For whatever reason, I didn't see that. So if you click here on version 1.0, you can simply download headitude.zip, and that gives you the binary. And in our conversation, Daniel Rudrich, the developer of Headitude, mentioned that one of his colleagues had 3D printed an attachment to his headphones so that he could put the AirPods into this attachment and use his studio headphones with the head tracking capabilities of the AirPods. And that caught my attention, and I first thought, well, I need to purchase a 3D printer because I don't have one. And then I figured, well, that's probably a little bit too much of an expense for a YouTube video. And then I noticed I actually have something else that might actually also work, and those are these little silicone ear hooks. So in case you have AirPods and you have troubles with them staying in your ear, what you can do is you can purchase these little ear hooks, and I actually have a couple of those. And I felt that these ear hooks might actually work as an attachment to your headphones, and this is what we're going to do today. Now, if you don't have these types of ear hooks, I'm going to leave a link in the description. These are the ones that I'm going to use. They're pretty good. They're not that expensive, and what I like about these in particular is that it's very easy to get the AirPods in and out, and that's going to be really crucial for what we're going to do here. So all we really need to do is we need to take these little ear hooks, attach them to our headphones, and then make a couple of adjustments in the settings of our AirPods in order to make it work, and that will allow us to use the tracking capabilities of the AirPods on our regular studio headphones. So let's do that. Now, the way you connect these ear hooks to your headphones depends a little bit on the type of headphones that you're using and how permanent you want that connection to be. What I did, I simply used a piece of Velcro to connect them. It is a little wobbly, but it doesn't really make that much difference. If you want to have a more permanent attachment, you could kind of create a different type of attachment, but for my particular purpose, that Velcro was actually good enough. And all we really need to do is we need to put our AirPods into those little ear hooks, and that actually is really easy to do. So all we need to do is we need to put them in here, and then essentially we have them connected. But before we can do that, we need to make a couple of adjustments in the settings of our AirPods, because by default, the AirPods recognize if they are in your ear or not, and that's obviously not possible here because they're clearly not in my ear, but we still want to kind of get the orientation data out of those. So we need to disable the automatic ear detection, and so let's do that. So I've opened up Headitude, and the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to put my AirPods into my ears so that the computer actually recognizes that I'm actually using them. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the settings. So I have a lot of devices here. Don't worry about those. So I'm going to go down here to the AirPods Pro settings, and in the AirPods Pro settings, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn off the automatic ear detection. And if I open up Headitude again, now that the automatic ear detection is turned off, if I take this off, you can actually see that Headitude remains connected to the Apple AirPods, and that means that we can now put them into our little contraption on our headphones and use our headphones with the head tracking capabilities of these AirPods. So let's put those in, and once again, this is actually relatively straightforward. And there are a lot of different types of ear hooks on the market, and they usually distinguish themselves by the ease of use, meaning how easy it is to actually get those AirPods into the ear hooks. So when you purchase them, make sure that you purchase some ear hooks that essentially are easy to use. And now we have them connected, and as you can see, essentially the head is moving with my headphones. Now I need to calibrate, obviously, so let's do the calibration here. And here we are. And I'm using the head tracking from the Apple AirPods just as a head tracker for my regular studio headphones. Now, obviously, I need to make sure that I'm not sending any audio signal through the system output, because the system output now are my Apple AirPods, and instead send the audio directly into my audio interface so that actually the audio comes in at my headphones. Now, this works not only for the AirPods Pro, it works for all Apple earbuds that have the H2 chip included, like, for example, the new AirPods 4, or also the Powerbeats Pro 2 that came out a couple of days ago. So also some of the Beats earbuds can do that as well. So you might already have earbuds that do that, and all you really need to do is you need to connect them somehow to your studio headphones, and you're ready to go. Well, that's everything for today. If you have any questions, drop them in the comment section or join our free Discord server. The invite link is in the description below. And don't forget to subscribe to stay updated about all things Dolby Atmos and immersive audio. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.